Good morning, my neighbors!
Stirring the coffee with the chopsticks of truth, using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee in a Chick-fil-A cup. Nice insulated Chick-fil-A logo. Does keep it hotter than the Burger King cup or the McDonald's cup, I will say that. But then again, it's styrofoam, so who knows what phytoestrogens I'm taking into my body with this. Let's get started. Ernest Hemingway says this, I love it. Oh, by the way, I'm a little bit late today. I slept in. I don't have to be anywhere this morning. So, hence the bed face, bed head, bed beard, bed life. Hemingway says this, the world breaks everyone, and afterwards some are strong at the broken places. The world breaks everyone. Where has the world broken you? Where has the world broken you? It breaks everyone at one point or another. I don't care who you are. What are the most interesting business cards you've ever seen? I have one upstairs. It's a business card that is printed, the information's printed on a poker chip. Out of all of the business cards that I've had given to me in my lifetime, I think I did have one that was made out of metal that looked like a razor blade, like a double-edged razor blade. That was kind of cool. And it was die cut to look exactly like a razor blade. It wasn't sharp, though. But I knew if I put it in my pocket, I would end up with like a hole in my pocket because of the corners of it. But the poker chip, I still have. Interesting, right? Would you have a poker chip as a business card? Hold a door for a woman and you're a gentleman. Hold a revolving door for a woman and you're arrested. Here, let me hold this door for you, ma'am. Let me out of here! Let me out of here! It's not funny, I guess, if you're the one who's stuck in the revolving door, right? So Airbnb bans Michelle Malkin and her husband. She spoke at a peaceful conference, but it was deemed a hate group. Airbnb called her conference a hate group. Let's dig into this a little bit deeper. What was the conference called? It was deemed a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center and ADL, Anti-Defamation League. The title of the talk was Race, Immigration, and Con Inc. I'm guessing Conservatism Inc. How I Came to See the Light. She spoke at a conference called, what was it called? I don't think she said the name of it. The letter said, my name's Cedar. I'm with Airbnb's trust team. The November 24th, 2021 email began. It has come to our attention that you were a keynote speaker for the 2021 American Renaissance Conference earlier this month in Tennessee. Airbnb's community policies prohibit people who are members of or actively associate with known hate groups. What? Due to your promotion and participation in a known white nationalist and white supremacist conference, we have determined that we will remove your account from Airbnb. This is consistent with action we've taken to ban people associated with this conference in past years. All right. Interesting. Airbnb's ideological witch hunts have claimed an unknown number of victims since 2016 as part of the woke company initiative to root out bias and expel anyone who is deemed an extremist. Michelle Malkin is an extremist? I guess the bar is pretty low, isn't it, for extremism? Or a dangerous organization affiliation. It's not enough that I, a woman of color and mother of 2 multiracial children, was pronounced guilty of hate crimes and promotion of white supremacist ideas for delivering a speech whose full content Airbnb didn't even bother to obtain from me. The Airbnb bullies also banned my equally non-violent, non-hateful husband who did not attend the conference, who is not a public figure or an activist. All right. Are you familiar with the American Renaissance Conference? Anyone familiar with American Renaissance? Interesting. All right, back to our regularly scheduled nationalism and supremacy. Kidding. I dated a gal years ago, and here's an interesting story. When she was a teenager, her parents had a very ugly divorce. One time she went shopping with her mom at a mall. The father followed them there. They were already separated or divorced or something. The father confronted the mother in the mall. They argued. At that moment, the father pulled out a gun and shot the mother in the head. Killed her right there. Within seconds, he turned the gun on himself, shot himself. All in front of the daughter. Do you think that will play with a child's head? Well, I didn't know this story after dating this woman for, it probably had to be 1 or 2 months. And after she told me the story, I could see the effect. I could see there were some things about her that were not like any other woman, and it was not positive. One of those things was, I'll never forget one time going out with her. Literally, we went out somewhere. This is back when a man could actually pick a woman up at her home and bring her back at the end of the night. Pull in the driveway, she says, "Can you come in for a minute?" Not, "Would you like to come in?" Big difference. "Can you come in for a minute?" I'm like, "Sure." Go in. She stands at the front. We go in the front door. She says, "Can you go and just check the kitchen? It's straight through." I'm like, "Sure." Went in, looked around. Okay. "Can you look in the pantry?" "Sure." Opened up the pantry door. Like, yeah, just food there. "Can you go down in the basement and just check the basement real quick?" She directed me to check every room in the house and turn on all the lights. And then she says, "Oh, thanks." She says, "I have to get up early tomorrow morning for work. I'll see you again this weekend." I'm like, okay, that's cool. Weirdest date I was ever on. The relationship didn't last much longer than that. Very, very, very argumentative. Pretty girl, too. Just like stunningly beautiful, which is the things that we men overlook because of beauty, because of a great body, the things that we overlook. Gentlemen, gentlemen, gentlemen. Or, as Alan Roger Curry would say, the possibility of sex. It's crazy. As soon as you start seeing red flags, get out of there. There's not a single red flag you can manage. Stop it with managing red flags. Oh, I've got them. I've got 2 out of the 3 handled. Really? It's the third one that's going to kill you, make you go broke. The third one where you're going to lose everything. Dude, stop managing red flags. She was always jumpy, paranoid, argumentative. I couldn't handle it. It was the weirdest relationship I ever had. But I have nothing but sympathy for her because I saw that continuing with her would only be a project. Literally taking on a project. Gentlemen, no more project people. No more projects. She's not a piece of furniture that, well, if you give it a little bit of attention and strip the paint off of it and sand it down and put some oil on it, you can make it beautiful again or more beautiful than it already is. No more projects. People are not your projects. Stop it. Now I have to add this as well. You stop being someone else's project. I'll let that just stay right there. No more project people. I love this picture. Fully jabbed and ready to date again. Do you have that magical ability to sense fish in a body of water? Can you look at a pond? Can you look at a tree that's submerged in a creek, a bend in a river, and just know that there's fish in there? I have that. I have said to people, there's fish in there. They're like, what? I said, there's fish in there. They're like, how do you know? My answer is, I just know. This is one of the reasons why I always have a fishing pole in my truck. A compact thing that I use. Believe it or not, I always had a pocket fisherman. You know what a pocket fisherman is? Always had a pocket fisherman in the storage area of my motorcycle as well. If I saw a pond, a creek that I felt there was fish in, I would stop and throw a line in. Yeah. I always had a few lures, a couple flies, a bobber, a few sinkers, just like a little mini tackle kit that, could fit like in a prescription bottle, that kind of thing, extra hooks. I just know. I can look at water and tell you if there's fish in there. I don't know what it is, but I can do it. Do you have that ability? And do you carry a fishing pole everywhere you go? A fishing device? It's so funny. K-Bar has a little fishing device. I'll put a link for it down below, along with the magical K-Bar Chopsticks of Truth. They also have a fishing device that I want to get. I forget how much it is. I think it's under $20. Compact. I think I'm going to get it. Do you have that ability? Protests, as we know them today, are fairly useless. Protest nailing 95 theses on a door, emptying boxes of tea into a harbor. Just kind of like this virtue signaling, showing up with signs. Fairly useless. Protests are useless. They get a lot of attention, but do they really, really make change? Do they change the situation? Well, we all met at the Capitol today. We met it here. We met there. Do they change anything? And I'm thinking about truckers in Canada. Is anything really going to happen as a result of that? I mean, really, is your life going to change as a result of that? Is everything going to go back to normal after a bunch of truckers surround a Capitol or a building or meet or block traffic or obstruct the delivery of food and supplies? Is life going to go back to normal because a bunch of lay people do something like that? I don't think so. I don't think so. Just my opinion. This may or may not age well, but a year from now, I may be saying to you, see, I told you so. I am not opposed to a wife texting her husband her bikini top of the day, BTOTD. Does your wife do that? If not, maybe she should. Probably wouldn't hurt. Well, first of all, can your wife wear a bikini? That might be one of your first problems, gentlemen. And for those that aren't married, if she can't wear a bikini, there's got to be a rhyme there somewhere, kind of like, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. Somebody come up with a little rhyme for me about bikini tops. Your wife being able to wear a bikini top. Put it down below. And I'll read it on the next Daybreak show, give you some credit. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you on the next Daybreak show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.